Welcome back to New Home Building Today. Joining us now is Chris Richter from Water Doctors. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Julie.
Chris, what's important about drinking water systems?
Inside of the home, this is the most critical investment that we're making. Only about 1% of the water that's coming into the home is going to run through a drinking system. But what we're looking for here is it's essentially the same water coming into the home that they'd be using in fire hydrants. So at some point we end up dealing with kind of the most acute risks, crypto, giardia, really kind of things that are bad at a high level. Kind of after that, we start to get into this legal versus healthy guideline. Legally, there's a lot of things that can go through the water that are amounts of carcinogens. Healthy would be kind of a lot closer to zero. So that's when we start to look at the drinking system as removing kind of those last layers. So in a city water application, we're talking about chemicals, we're talking about compounds, we're talking about pharmaceuticals. On a well level, it's really not that much different. 30 years ago, we were running the same tests that we're running today. We go back to some of those same wells, and there's twice as much stuff in the water as there was 30 years ago. Where's it all coming from? It's man's footprint. We fertilize, we spray for mosquitoes. All of that stuff ends up somewhere, and we see it in higher levels of contaminants inside of drinking water.
Chris, what's the difference in water treatment equipment?
It's kind of the same as the rest of the process that you go through in a home. When we're talking about HVAC, we're talking about efficiency. When we're talking about insulation, we're talking about R factor. When we go through each and everything in the home, it's a matter of efficiency. And in my business, it's going to be a matter of salt and a matter of water consumed. So some of the older technology is extremely wasteful in terms of salt and water. Connecticut, known for twin tank, non-electric, high efficiency equipment. That's probably one of the big things is efficiency. Second part, it's really a matter of getting what you're paying for in terms of life. A lot of our warranties will start out at a minimum of 10 years, 10 years on labor, and then you're dealing with really a room that no one wants to go back down to. It's got HVAC, it's got a furnace, it's got a hot water heater. No one likes to go to that room, so we like to have our equipment in place, to think about it again.
Great. What are some of the big changes in water over the past few years?
If I had to pick a big one, it's really for two reasons. More people are getting their water from municipal sources now than ever before, and that's also where a lot of the new homes are being built. So increasingly we're seeing people dealing with municipal water issues. Probably chief among them is going to be chlorine. We've always known that it's an aggressive oxidant. It's there, it does its job to help get the water to your home a little bit safer than without the chlorine, but it's aggressive enough where it'll eat up a rubber seal on a dishwasher or a washing machine. And if it'll eat up a rubber seal on a dishwasher or a washing machine, you'll feel it on your hair, you'll feel it on your skin. So it's probably the fastest growth segment that we've been seeing.
Well, Chris, when building a new home, when do you need an iron filter?
It really depends. And probably the best advice you can have is to wait, just be patient. We deal with iron, odor, and sediment the same way. All new wells smell, have iron, and they're probably pumping sediment. So kind of the big old way that things were done is that every home just automatically ended up with an iron filter. Takes $2,000 right out of the budget to begin with. In our experience, when we get to go in and test the water after the well's been run off, we'll find that 15 or 20% of homes really need that iron filter. So the best advice I could have for a home builder would be to be patient. The well people are very, very good at finding water, but just because that water smells and has iron in the beginning, it doesn't mean it's going to. You're also probably going to be looking at landscaping right afterwards. And if that $2,000 for the iron filter is coming out of the drinking system budget, now we're back into trading off again. You're going to have landscaping, you're going to have fertilizer, it's going to be running down. I'd much rather have the drinking system there to protect against that ice cold glass of turf builder as opposed to dealing with an iron filter that I don't need.
Well, that's great information. How can our viewers get more information on all the products that Water Doctor offers?
You can reach us online at h2odoctors.com. Alternatively on the phone, 262-549-7733.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.